Okay, today we're going to do Unit 4, Notes number 6, which is over Hoy and VUX. So these are going to be our special case lines. So with our horizontal line, we have a slope of 0, so m equals 0, and then our equation is always going to be a y equals equation. So y equals a number. It's not going to be y equals mx plus b, just y equals a number. So y equals 5, y equals -2, anything like that. And with vertical lines, you're going to have an undefined slope, and you're going to have an x equals equation. So x equals any number. And you're like, well, how does this represent Hoy and VUX? So with horizontal, h, 0 slope, y equals. So that's your Hoy. And with vertical, v, undefined slope, and an x equals. So that's how we get our Hoy and VUX. So you can use that to help you or not. It's completely up to you. So we're going to go down to the bottom. We're going to tell whether each line is horizontal or vertical, and then we're going to state the slope and graph it. So y equals -3. So this is a y equals equation. So if you remember how y equals, it's a horizontal line. And it's going to be, our slope is going to be 0. Graphing this, we're going to graph -3 on the y-axis. So find your y-axis, which is the one that's up and down, plot -3. Since this is horizontal, this is going to go across. It will not go up and down because we don't want to stay on our y-axis. Oops. So we're going to just draw a line across. Just make sure you put your arrows. Next one, we have an x equals. So if you remember, x is a vertical line. And our slope is undefined. So we're going to plot 6 on our x-axis. And then this one, because we don't want to just stay on our x-axis, this one's also is going to go, it's a vertical line. Ooh, if I can draw a straight vertical line today. And it's going to go up and down. Make sure you have your arrows on the end. Okay, going down to the bottom, we're just going to write our equations. So this one, it's crossing at y is 5. So you're just going to have y equals 5. Crossing the y-axis at 5, so we know it's going, and it's a horizontal line, so it's going to be a y equals. Next one, we're crossing at x is -3. So it's going to be x equals -3. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions on the front page. We're going to move on to the second page. So this one, it says write the equation of the horizontal and vertical line that passes through each point. So for each one, we have our x and our y coordinates. Horizontal, if you guys remember, is y equals. Vertical is x equals. So for first one, y equals. So our y value is 1. So we're going to have y equals 1. For x, our x value is 3. So we're going to have x equals 3. And those are our lines. Next one, we're going to have y equals -2 because that's our y value. We're going to have x equals 5 because that is our x value. We're going to have y equals -4. X equals 0 because I'm looking at what are my y, what are my x. So we're just drawing the equation for either the vertical or horizontal line through that point. So there's 2 separate lines for each point. Last one, we're going to have y equals 6 and x equals 5. So those are our equations. Now if we were to graph this, I'm going to graph the first one. So this is A. So I have y equals 1. So that would mean I would plot 1 on my y-axis, and then I would draw a horizontal line. And then the second one was x equals 3. So I would plot 3 on my x-axis. That's my x-axis. And I would draw a vertical line. So that's what I mean by each of these represents 2 points. So for the second one, we have y is -2. Draw your horizontal line. These are not perfect lines, you guys. And we had x equals 5. So on x is 5, we're going to draw a point. Ooh, that's a really bad point. Okay, for C, I have y equals -4. So go down 4. Draw your horizontal line. And then I have x equals 0. So that would be right here. And that would just be a line that's up and down, since it's at x equals 0. Then our last one, we have y equals 6. So go up 6 on your y-axis. And then I have x equals 5. So we're going to go over to 5 on our x-axis. Plot a point, and this is going to be a vertical line, so up and down. So that's how you would graph these lines on your graph. So again, each of those points has 2 different lines. Okay, now let's go down to the bottom. So select all the functions that have the same y-intercept. So if you guys remember, our y-intercept is the number that's not next to x. So this y-intercept would be 0, -1. So I'm going to figure out which ones also have a y-intercept of -1. This one clearly does because it says y equals 1. So we're going to fill that in. The next 3 are all in standard form. So if it's in standard form, we were trying to find our y-intercept. We're just going to try to find the y value. So this is where you can cross off the x value. So to find the y, got to divide both sides by 4. So I'm going to get y equals 2. Is that the same as -1? No. So this one is not an option. Next one, cross off your x. I have to divide both sides by -2 to get my y value. You get y equals -1. That is the same. So that one is an option. And then last one, cross off the 3x, divide both sides by -3. You get y equals -1. That is a y-intercept of ooh, goodness. That is a y-intercept of -1. So that one is the same. So we only have 3 of them are the same. So keep that in mind whenever it's select all. There's probably going to be at least 2. So be careful because you do have a little bit of work left on this one. Okay, that's it for the video. So you guys can start on the homework. Let me know if you guys have any questions.